What's the feeling of the first sexual encounter? As someone who has remained single since birth for over 20 years, I have held a longing for the opposite sex and especially this initial form of entertainment for a long time. Just due to various reasons, I have been compelled to remain chaste. Nevertheless, this doesn't hinder my eagerness for sexual pleasures. As the old saying goes, appetite and sexuality are natural. Love and sex are inseparable. Since there is love, then sex is inevitable. Sex itself is a beautiful thing and becomes even more enjoyable and fulfilling when nourished by love, especially for those who have never experienced sexual relations. What is it like the first time? Let's listen to the voices of these sisters to see if it's beneficial or if you can find your own shadow, proving that you are not alone. The first sister stated, "I met my husband during a blind date. It was sort of love at first sight. I don't know why, but I felt in my heart that this was the right person. We quickly fell in love and decided to get married. My first sexual experience was after marriage because I'm a particularly conservative person. I didn't talk much with boys before marriage. I had no excessive communication with other men. Even if there was more communication, it was mostly about work. So when I thought about having a sexual relationship with my husband, I was quite nervous because it was the first time and it was very significant to me. Fortunately, my husband was gentle, and I wasn't that nervous anymore." The second sister shared, "When I was at school, I liked a guy, but he didn't like me at first. So I pursued him desperately in all kinds of ways. With my unwavering efforts, he finally agreed to be with me. I remember that the first time I had a sexual relationship with him, I was very excited because he was someone I really liked. I pursued him for several months, and when he finally agreed to be with me, I liked him even more, so I was very thrilled. After we got together, we had a sexual relationship on our first date. Actually, I didn't anticipate this to happen, so I was quite embarrassed at first because I had never had such close contact with a guy before, but later, I gradually became excited whenever I thought that the person opposite was the one I liked. I was very happy and enjoyed it." The third sister said, "My mother was very strict with me since I was a child and would tell me many profound truths. When I was in my first year of college, I had a boyfriend because I am a relatively outgoing person and not conservative about having a sexual relationship. But when I had my first sexual encounter, I thought of a sentence my mother said. My mother told me not to have a sexual relationship with a guy easily before marriage because it's not good for yourself and it will affect the quality of future relationships. So I was hesitant at that time and kept pondering whether what I did was right. But later, I didn't listen to my mother and followed my heart." The fourth sister recounted, "Let me just talk about the first time. It was quite peculiar. It hurt a lot when entering. At first, it just couldn't get in. My boyfriend and I tried for 3 entire days. Finally, I made up my mind and let him go all the way. Then, I didn't feel anything. Looking at his worried eyes, I even asked if it was in. I thought it would hurt more, but in fact, it didn't hurt, wasn't pleasant, and wasn't uncomfortable. I just felt something moving inside. It was a very strange sensation. It wasn't until I went to the bathroom that I discovered a lot of blood. I was also startled at that time. The fifth sister mentioned, foreplay is truly important. The first time with my boyfriend, we did a lot of research. I even took a lot of notes. Can you believe it? To prevent pain, what to do in case of emergencies. And we even brought lubricant. But during the actual operation, maybe I was too nervous and couldn't get wet. But fortunately, with the help of the lubricant and my boyfriend was very considerate of my feelings. Every step was done very patiently and gently. The foreplay was also very sufficient. So, I had an orgasm before entering. Afterward, we also made a summary and thought there were many areas that could be improved, especially the sequence. He said that I should have an orgasm with the little bump first and then the inside. I listened attentively and was also looking forward to it very much. I think it's okay with the one I like. The sixth sister expressed, I have a yearning for love in my heart. The first time represents the beauty and purity of love. I think having a sexual relationship with the one you like in love is a very romantic thing. You love him and are willing to give yourself to him. This is a complete trust. I remember when I was in college, I had a sexual relationship with a guy I liked. We only knew each other for a month at that time, but I liked him very much. When we had the sexual relationship, I wasn't as nervous as I imagined. I felt very beautiful at that time because having a sexual relationship with the one you like is itself a very worthy thing to anticipate. Moreover, it was a very important first time. In fact, in a woman's eyes, the first time is as sacred and invaluable as marriage. When facing the first time, women may feel uneasy, expectant, or hesitant, but in any case, they will always choose to have their first time with the one they like, because this is not only a longing for love but also being responsible for their own love. Only in this way can it be beautiful. It can be seen that as long as it's with the one you like, even if it's the first time, most of them will leave a beautiful memory. So, what was your first time like? Welcome to leave your comments and discuss.